You see them every day. They like your photos, they watch your stories, they know what you had for dinner last Tuesday. But if you go to their profile, nothing. No posts, no stories, no updates, just silence. And that silence, it's driving the internet insane. Today, we're going to break down the psychology behind people who never post on social media and why some of the smartest, most successful people on the planet have gone completely dark. Let's be honest, in 2025, not posting feels almost suspicious. We live in a world where everyone shares everything: what they eat, where they travel, even their therapy breakthroughs. So when someone just doesn't, people start asking questions. Are they okay? Do they have something to hide? Are they just boring? But here's the thing nobody talks about. Choosing not to post is one of the most psychologically fascinating decisions a person can make in the digital age. And once you understand why they do it, you might start questioning why you post at all. The first reason is something researchers call decision fatigue. Every single post requires a chain of micro-decisions: what to write, which photo to use, what filter, what caption, when to post, who might see it, who might judge it. For some people, that chain of tiny choices is absolutely exhausting. Not because they're lazy, but because their brain is already running at full capacity on things that actually matter to them. Studies from Cornell University found that the average person makes roughly 35,000 decisions per day. People who stop posting often report that it felt like dropping a weight they didn't even know they were carrying. They didn't quit social media. They just stopped performing on it. Here's a psychological concept that goes back to the 1950s. Social comparison theory by Leon Festinger. It basically says that humans instinctively evaluate themselves by comparing to others. Now imagine putting that instinct on steroids. That's what social media does. Every time you post, you're not just sharing a moment. You're opening a door for comparison. How many likes did I get? Did she get more comments? Why does his life look so much better? People who stop posting often figured out something crucial. The game is rigged. You're not comparing your life to someone else's life. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. And the only winning move is not to play. This one goes deeper than most people think. Some non-posters aren't avoiding social media because it's stressful. They're protecting something. There's a concept in psychology called self-concealment, the tendency to actively hide personal information from others. And it's not about shame, it's about boundaries. Think of it this way. When you share a beautiful sunset on Instagram, you're trading a private experience for public validation. And for some people, the moment you share it, it stops being yours. There are people who had the best vacation of their life and posted 0 photos. Not because they forgot, but because keeping it private made it feel more real. That's not antisocial. That's actually incredibly self-aware. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. And this is the part I mentioned earlier that changed my perspective. Some people stopped posting because they realized they were building 2 versions of themselves. There's the real you, the person who wakes up tired, has bad hair days, argues with their partner, and eats cereal at 11 p.m. And then there's the online you, curated, filtered, optimized for engagement. Psychologist Dr. Sherry Turkle from MIT calls this the Goldilocks effect of digital communication. Online, you can edit yourself until you're just right. But the more you do that, the further you drift from who you actually are. People who quit posting often describe a strange sensation. They felt like they were losing themselves. Like the algorithm was shaping their identity more than their own experiences were. And when they stopped, they didn't lose followers. They found themselves. Now let's flip the script for a moment. Because not all non-posters are running away from something. Some of them are running towards something very specific: power. There's a principle in psychology called the scarcity effect. The less available something is, the more valuable it becomes. And that applies to people too. Think about the most mysterious, magnetic people you know. Chances are they're not posting their breakfast. They're not sharing motivational quotes at 6 a.m. They're just existing quietly. And that silence makes people curious. In a world where everyone is screaming for attention, saying nothing is the loudest statement you can make. And finally, the one that might sting a little. Some people don't post because they've already done the math. They've realized that most social media engagement is a zero-sum game. You give time, energy, and emotional bandwidth, and what do you get back? A number. A little heart. A comment from someone you haven't spoken to in 10 years. Meanwhile, the platforms profit. The algorithms learn. And your dopamine system gets a little more hijacked every single day. People who step away from posting aren't out of the loop. They've just decided to invest their attention where it actually compounds. In real relationships, real skills, real experiences. And honestly, that might be the most rebellious thing anyone can do in the digital age. So the next time you come across someone with an empty profile, don't feel sorry for them. Don't assume they're hiding. Maybe they just figured out something the rest of us are still learning. That your life doesn't need an audience to be meaningful. Now I'm curious, are you someone who never posts? Or do you know someone like that? Drop a comment below and tell me why. I read every single one. And if this video made you think even a little bit differently about social media, hit that subscribe button. We break down psychology, human behavior, and the hidden patterns behind everyday life every single week. I'll see you in the next one.